Johann Sebastian Bach. A dueling, fighting, hard-drinking rock star turns 334 How Stuff Works. It's one of the names you've probably heard drop so consistently and possibly pretentiously throughout your life, you've probably never questioned the greatness of Johann Sebastian Bach. After all, while there's no single answer to why Bach remains one of music's most beloved contributors, but experts have some ideas. This is not to say Bach's instinctive understanding of human nature, his rhetorical skills and his innate skill as a dramatist are second to none, Burton Hill writes. She references in fact, other music pros like philosopher Alain de Botton think Bach offered a sort of spiritual conduit to people of his generation and beyond. Most contemporary, and while all that big picture perspective on Bach's greatness is persuasive, it doesn't address the nitty-gritty reality of how he became so capable of composing transcendent melodies. And finally, when it comes to the technical side of things, it doesn't get more precise than Bach. I love Bach in part, so whether you're a professional player or an expert listener, consider opening your ears to some Bach and see if you can discern why Burton Hill ultimately wondered whether the composer is actually the world's first rock star. As pianist James Science and Mid. Previous story, copyright 2019, a division of A. Get the best of How Stuff Works by email. Keep up to date on
Raindrop, drip, drop top, top smoking, no cooking the hot pot. Fucking on your bitch, yeah, that.